because when I started, there were, in London, there were 3 or 4 films every week. Now, sometimes there's 15 films you have to see. Most of them crap. But, you know, it's very, very difficult to do your job. Added to that, they tend to want to get rid of older critics, because they're more expensive, and they get young people who haven't very much experience of anything. They don't even know.
Well, I think that ageism is relevant everywhere, really, but I think that if you're an editor of a newspaper, well, let's start from go back to what the audience is. If the audience is getting younger and younger and younger, which it is, and the reason the audience is getting younger and younger and younger is because the people who make the movies are making the movies just for those young people. And when you started out as a critic, you would get many more varied films made every year. Even by the Hollywood studios would make more varied work than they do now. It's very narrow now. The attitude is very much that you can make the most money by aiming your films at young people. Now, if you're an editor of a newspaper and the average age of the audience is 18, then maybe your film critic should be similar age. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it's correct, but it's to do with the nature of the movies themselves. Also, critics like you are now having to, you're forced to review films. The small minority film that you might like the best will be the last on the page of critics. The one film that will be first will be the one that's going to be the most successful film, you know, which usually is a special effect blockbuster of some kind, which is hard if you come from criticising intellectual cinema as you have.
Well, I think all over Europe the same thing is happening to critics. They're being made redundant by the dozen, and sometimes the people who replace them are not very good, and sometimes the space is much less. So I don't think a good filmmaker like yourself, starting out, would get the support that they used to get.
That's true, but I think that that's actually a very important factor in that all young filmmakers require some kind of patronage. You need someone to fight for you. That can be a film critic who discovers you, and it could be a producer who has the ability to raise money, who has faith in you. It's very hard to do it on your own. You need one of those two things. I think that I didn't have the critics, Derek, but I did have the producers on my side.
You'd had some of the critics, for God's sake.
Some, yes.
I remember you used to send cartoons around the place to the critics, especially to me. He's a very good cartoonist. In fact, he could have made another career easily as a cartoonist. Couldn't you?
I do cartoons, yes.
I've still got some of your cartoons.
The interesting thing about my cartoons is that I've been doing them for 50 years, and they're a way of, instead of writing a rude note to someone or a rude email, it's much quicker for me to do a cartoon. And you can be incredibly insulting, particularly to someone like a film critic like yourself. Or they started out, I used to send them to Hollywood studio executives. And it would be very rude and very insulting cartoon I would send. And the next time I went there, in their office, they would have it on the wall, in a frame. It's amazing how cartoons, well, in recent events, I suppose you have to be careful what you say. But it is a very strong way to communicate.